everybody. I forgot to do this video. I think it was last week when it actually happened, but there's one court case that kind of floored me because, well, when I found out all the information. Okay, so this young guy, uh, um, allegedly unalived both his parents at different times. The problem is that in the case that happened last week, um, about the mother, the father's unaliving was never mentioned. So he was acquitted on that charge. Okay. Now the question is, how is it going to affect the trial about the father's unaliving? Because are they going to do the same thing and not mention the mother's, or are they going to mention it? I think, and a lot of people agree with me, um, the only reason he was found not guilty is because the other unaliving wasn't mentioned at all. I think if it was, it would have been a completely different outcome. And also, I didn't even know they were pursuing the second case. I figured it was just, a foregone conclusion that, okay, they weren't going to charge. Well, I mean, I guess if they thought that they could get him on one, then maybe they would charge him with the other. But I guess I assumed that because he was found not guilty on the mother's charges, they wouldn't even pursue the father's. So I'm in a state of shock here. Um, okay. Now, I don't really do celebrity cases on purpose. If they happen to cross, then I will cover it as openly and as unbiased as possible. And because I don't want my like or dislike for somebody personally to influence my decisions about them in the legal world. Okay. Now I know some of you may or may not have opinions on Blake Lively as an actress and maybe on other fronts. Okay, there's one thing I ask of you. If I go through the upcoming court case and all the stuff leading up to it, please try to keep an open mind about what I talk about here. And it's not based on a personal nature at all. Okay? It's based on a legal lawsuit and workplace behaviors, environment, the like. Okay? All right. Now, with all that being said, that's kind of why I didn't want to cover it in the first place. Because it's about Hollywood and, I didn't know if it was actually a case. And because at first, okay, I have to explain and I have to start from square one. Okay. So you know all the players involved. So you know what I'm talking about here. Okay. Now, there are two things you need to know. This involves two actors who worked on a movie, and some things may or may not have happened on the movie set. And these people are well known, or at least known. I'd say that Blake Lively is more well known than Justin Baldoni, but he's known in his own right. So, there. Okay, now, of course, the movie I'm talking about is It Ends With Us, which is based on the book by Colleen Hoover. All right, so apparently it's come out to light that some things allegedly happened on that set that were against Blake Lively. Now, Justin Baldoni, on the other hand, says that those things did not occur and uh, she wanted to take over the film and that she just perceived things wrongly, that it didn't happen the way she thought it did. Okay, now, the reason I find this interesting is because whenever something happens with a celebrity, there's a part of a press or the people, the people who handle them, who want to keep it under wraps. And so we, as a general population, don't usually hear about the happenings of celebrities because they want to keep their name in good standing. Because if you have your name in good standing, then you're more apt to get more work and roles and things, depending on your job, depending on what you want to do. Okay. Now, I have heard, and I guess it's true, that all press is good press, or, that thing. But I would beg to differ slightly because it depends on what people are talking about you in relation to what. Okay. So, okay. There's another facet to this that I find intriguing, in the least. It's that now Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift, major music artist, well known across the country and probably several continents, with her own fan base called the Swifties, may or may not be involved in this lawsuit because she and Blake Lively happen to be really good friends. So, yeah. Okay, now, the reason this thing is going sideways in my mind is because uh, Justin Baldoni allegedly said some stuff in a text message to Blake Lively, and the response came at an odd hour in the morning, and his text seemed to be an apology text for what may or may not have happened before. So I find that intriguing. So I'm going to try to follow this. Oh, and also for a court date, this is not going to trial until March of 2026. So next year. But now I'm kind of intrigued. So I'm going to follow it as much as I can. And like I said, if you're going to follow it with me, please hold any personal judgments you may have. Okay, that was fun.